The Son of Neptune for a few minutes. It's the second book in the Heroes of Olympus series by Rick Riordan. It is part of the Percy Jackson universe. The first book, The Lost Hero, follows Jason, who's a new character we're introduced in the universe, whereas the second book follows Percy, but Percy has lost his memory because Hera or Juno, depending on if you're Greek or Roman, has intervened in the war that was kind of set up in the first Percy Jackson books. So, super interesting read, in that you start to see the characters grow and develop as they age, right? When we're first introduced to Percy in the first Percy Jackson book, he's 12. Now we're looking at a 16-year-old Percy, and obviously some things have changed. He's more aware of what it means to be a demigod, has been on some quests. Now we're seeing an experienced warrior Percy navigating this mystical world with new friends. Rick does an amazing job of setting books up for the next book in a series. The cliffhangers are solid. My only complaint with The Son of Neptune in particular was I felt like this first section of the book was a little bit slow moving. You do need to read the first book in the series for this one to make sense. And I did just start reading this little, the Demigod Files, which is a companion book. It's not actually part of the series, but this takes place between the original Percy Jackson books and the Heroes of Olympus series. So I actually wish that I had read this before reading the Heroes of Olympus. And there's a second one, and that's the Demigod Diaries, which falls between book 2 of Heroes of Olympus, The Son of Neptune, and book 3. So my goal right now is to read these 2 books and then continue on with the Heroes of Olympus stories. I still need to do research on where the rest of the Percy Jackson universe fits in. So I have the Apollo trials. I believe that takes place after the Heroes of Olympus, but I haven't actually double checked. And then I also have the Magnus Chase and then the Egyptian Kane brothers. And there's a crossover between Percy Jackson and the Kane brothers. So I'm kind of ignoring that section of Rick Riordan's literary world right now and focusing on the primary Percy Jackson books, because I still really want to read the new book that came out in September that I have not picked up yet, because I want to fully experience what it was like to read these books in the order that they were published-ish. Although I've been told you don't have to have read the Heroes of Olympus or the Apollo trials before reading Chalice of the Gods. So, a little bit of a rambling talk as I update you on my Percy Jackson universe experience, because if you remember, I have not read the Percy Jackson series previously. I was a Hogwarts girly, not a Camp Half-Blood girly growing up, and I've missed out. So now I'm catching up on all things Percy Jackson and really enjoying it. Rick Riordan does a fantastic job of slipping in some tidbits in his novels that appeal to an adult sense of humor.